Hello everyone. In this series of words frequently confused, today we are going to discuss two words. One is among and the other one is between. The word between is used when we talk about two people or two things. So the usage is very simple. It's very common word and you must be using it correctly already. For example, the two children divided the chocolates between themselves. We cannot use here among themselves because there are here two children. So they divided the chocolates between themselves. Now, if let's say there are three children or four children, more than two, then we use among, right? Let's say that the eight children divided the chocolates among themselves. So here we are referring to the number of children more than two. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, more than two, we use the word among. Now sometimes when there are objects or people more than two, we use between. The rule is, the general rule is we cannot use between when there are objects or people more than two. When there are objects or people more than two, we generally don't use between. However, there are exceptions. You know that the English language is all about rules and exceptions. So between can be used. Between can be used for three or more than three if objects and people clearly distinct from one another, and they should not be too many. So 30, 50, 100, too many objects and people, we cannot use between. Let's say if there are 5, 6, 7, we can use between even if the objects and people are more than two, if they are distinctly seen from each other. For example, let's say that there are three chief ministers, and we can say it was a great understanding. There was a great understanding between the three chief ministers of UP, MP, and Maharashtra. So I'm talking about three chief ministers here, and I'm using the word between. I'm not using the word among, because here these three chief ministers can be distinctly seen from each other. So they are distinct, and the number three is not too many. We can also take another example, that we built our bungalow. We built our dream bungalow between the lake, woods and the mountains. Between the lake, the woods and the mountains. So the lake, woods and mountains, these are three objects, three things. Even then I am using the word between, because lake, woods and mountains, they can be distinctly seen, right? So between can be used even if the objects or people are more than two, even if there are 3, 4 or more than 3, 4, if those objects and people are distinct from each other and their number should not be too many. So even then we can use the word between. Okay, I have given the examples that I have discussed now in the description below the video. Please have a look at the description. Thank you.